Boom. Okay, cool. That looks good. Every release we choose some specific game balance issues and gameplay limitations to address and adjust. Okay, cool. Stat sticks, here we go. Stat sticks. Rip stat sticks. Okay, so they tell what a stat stick is. Pretty much using in the offhand to gain benefits and only using your main hand to attack. It's the whole southpaw kind of build. Um, While the offhand weapon provides excellent stats without its speed or base damage limiting you. Yeah, that was the big deal. This this use started off as an interesting gameplay element to use as part of a build. I remember the Death's Hand being a big deal back in the day. That was cool. Pretty much anything that increased chaos damage was good for poison. Again, Death's Hand. 3.5, we are removing the ability to use stat sticks through the following changes. You will no longer be able to use skills that require a specific weapon equipped if you are dual wielding and one of the equipped weapons is unsuitable for that skill. Well, rip. So I wonder if they're going to be balancing things up a little bit in response to this. I mean, something like Wild Strike already used everything, I think. So you couldn't stat stick that. So that'd be an interesting change. I mean, two-handeds are back. Maybe, I don't know. A lot of the crafting that they showed off that bow craft. Pretty juicy. Maybe two-handed weapons are going to be back in this league. I wonder if they're going to up the damage of everything though just a little bit to compensate for this, because statistics were just ridiculous. Like, but if it's only with skills that can use it, I mean, spells can use them still. So Blade Vortex hasn't changed, and Glacial Cascade is still the same. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what they're going to do for the melee abilities, which there goes about 5 theory crafted builds. Rip. But, oh well. I'll probably do some more theory crafting here in a minute. We found that with this change it was important to make skill bind specific to your weapon set. You can now have an entire different set of skills bound to your main set of weapons and your second set of weapons. So I mean, this is going to eliminate the whole issue, well, like where I'm switching back and forth and having to reapply or put Lightning Golem back where I want it. That'd be cool. Yeah, I like that. That's how that works. Let's see. Next, Energy Shield Recharge. Haven't done an ES build in a while. Energy Shield Recharge is no longer interrupted by non-damage changes to your life or energy shield. Okay. Okay, the Eldritch Battery now causes you to have 50% less energy shield recharge rate. Initially, this change was explored as a way to make it easier for casters to use Eldritch Battery to solve mana issues. Yeah, I haven't really looked at using Eldritch Battery for much more than traps. Doesn't work very well on its own, needing something like Zealot Souls to go along with it. While there were concerns that this might introduce issues with other builds, when tested it was a justified change and was beneficial for a variety of cases. Might have to look into using Eldritch Battery next league. I'm thinking about doing casters right now. The new Arctic Breath, that looks kind of cool. I just want to see numbers. I gotta wait till tomorrow. Cap on slowing effects. The total amount that you can slow the expiration of an effect on a character through a time slowing mechanism such as temp chains is now capped at 75% from all sources. What? Temp chains. Is it slow normally? 75 still seems to be a lot. Let's see. Boop. Curses. I am blind. Ah, there we go. %20 slower. I mean, yeah, if you can still hit 75%, that's still pretty gross. So, probably some crazy build that's using that. Okay, back to this. Time slowing effects are a very powerful defensive tool. Yeah, use the spider gloves. Phenumises or whatever. Limiting time slowing effects to a cap allows us more flexibility in making content, as well allowing us to provide more options for giving players time. Okay, cool. So if they add stuff, that's pretty cool. And then you just can't be like, you're stopped for a boss. Just nullifying content. Okay, cool. No big deal. Unique rebalancing. Patch notes tomorrow will cover a large number of unique item rebalances. Some of these are simple numeric changes, while others are close to redesigns. Yeah, that'll be cool. Really interested in Reach of the Council. That'll be pretty interesting. New Greater Volley. Following principles were applied when looking at rebalancing unique items. Any item that drops very rarely should be justified in being that hard to find. Many very rare items have been improved. Ooh, I can't wait. There's been a few like tier 1 uniques that are just like, I made a big noise. Time to vendor. So hopefully that'll be cool. While a few were made more common. Okay, so they probably didn't rebalance everything that's high tier uniques. Rip on a few of them then. Unique items that are acquired through specific high tier bosses, for example, Elder and Shaper Guardians, should be balanced upwards where they were not up to par. Okay. I'm good with that. I did see the Hydra Bow, whatever it's called. Still feels bad, man. Maybe on Deadeye. I don't know. I mean, it's like got crit for piercing or something like that. So Deadeye maybe. But still seems a little behind the curve though. Especially with the new crafts for the bows. Like that bow had 400 damage because of that craft from the table. What? And then unique items that dramatically affect diversity in an item slot would be addressed either by nerfing excessive power or by looking at what else was available in that item slot. Okay, well that's kind of broad. We'll be curious to see if Indigon gets nerfed. A few things like that. Poet's Pin. I don't know. Cast on. Well, here we go. Cast on's coming up. Items which were relatively very strong but did not damage diversity could be made more rare. Okay, that's cool. Ongoing process. Okay, cool. We'll see the numbers tomorrow. I'll be hyped. Cast on. When looking at unique item balance, some items that offered triggered effects had their cooldowns reduced. It was difficult to do this without also looking at other triggered effects. As a result, the cast on critical strike support and cast on melee kill support will now have their cooldowns reduced. Ooh, melee kill also. Kinda interesting. I was after seeing the preview, I kinda wanted to try the Cycloner Volatile Dead thing. See how that works out. That could be fun. 3 archetypes for 3.5. Oh, whoops. Archetype. There we go. Skipped a paragraph. One of the approaches we used in the patch developing skills and making changes around some specific playstyles. This is centered around the concept of having some build archetypes. We make a specific build and add features and balance changes around that build. While some players are expected to end up in the archetype, we also want the tools to be useful for existing builds and to allow and change other builds but share elements with it. Okay. So probably referencing the cold stuff they're coming out with. Yeah, the 3 archetypes for 3.5 were a cold-based dot spellcaster, a Hierophant-based caster based on a new skill type brands, and the champion-based melee character based on the new axe and sword steel skills. Okay. Champion specifically. Didn't remember reading anything about it, but yeah, that'd be cool if they're doing something with a champion there. With a new effect impel, supported by a new skill type banners. Oh, okay, yeah. Wonder if they get just a banner buff. That'd be cool. Cold-based caster has led to new skill Winter Orb, rework of Arctic Breath and Ice Spear, and adjustments to Ice Nova and Vortex. This caster archetype has led to a number of changes on items. The passive tree and the occultist tree in particular added cold damage over time multiplier and non-element chaos damage over time multiplier is on new item modifiers on the passive tree and on the occultist. Blight build occultist coming back. Here we go. The values on various cold and chaos nodes were modified. Okay, we'll have to wait and see what those are. And then they're talking about the new brand skill archetypes, changes on the Hierophant, and also had knock-on effect for totems. Number of totem nodes now also offer benefits for brands. The Hierophant node Ritual of Awakening no longer grants +1 maximum number of summoned totems. Instead, it now causes skills that would summon a totem to summon 2 totems instead and grant 3% more damage per totem. Additional totems are now available from other sources, and players will have a number of options for totem builds. as well as being able to explore the new brand skills. Okay, so they are nerfing totems a slight bit, but that +2 totems from the multi-totem gym, that's kind of crazy. And assuming the less damage goes down from 40% to like 30%, that's still a huge buff. So now if you can only get 3 totems as a Hierophant, you can still get 5 with the gem. That's 15% more from that node, and you place 2 at a time? What? Okay, that's a little crazy. Interesting. I might do a totem build again. That'd be fun. Arc totem's coming back. Let's see, the champion now has a strong impel based way to play and has had changes to support it. Tectonic Slam has been adjusted for it, while Shattering Steel, Lancing Steel, War Banner, and Dread Banner have been added as new skills. So, Tectonic Slam changes? That was actually one of the skills I was trying to theory craft around. Rip. Well, have to wait on that one tomorrow. There goes another build. But what about self-casting? In the last few days, the community has been very keen for news for casters who don't rely on totems or triggers, which is often referred to as self-casting. Self-casting has not been a specific focus set up. Okay, so they're not doing anything. Betrayal does include some changes for various things associated with self-casting. We have designed the new cold skills aimed at self-casters. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like self-casting. I don't know, feels a bit more active playstyle. It's the only thing I don't like about playing BV and a few things like that. That's why I probably won't start with the new Winter Orb. But okay, cool. Not bad. So tomorrow will be fun stuff, and looks like 3.6 will be balancing for the new casters and such. Okay, cool. Not bad.